Okay, I've started the rear power windows, and basically this is what the manual regulator looks like. And that's held in by these two bolts and then these two. And when we put the power one in, it's a bigger regulator, and you basically don't use those 4 holes at all. You use these two right here, and then right here you have to drill one where that dimple is, and then there's another one inside here you have to drill. That kind of stumped me a bit on the other side, but I did a little research, and that's basically what you have to do, and I already got it installed, and it'll work great. But once you get that regulator out, though, to get that regulator out, you actually have to loosen. I still have the window in here. So you have to loosen it and plop it back. And what I did is I just loosened the bolts right here. I actually marked them so I know where they go. I didn't take this bracket out, which is held in by these two top bolts, but I loosened those, and then there was just one bolt at the bottom of the track that I loosened, and the whole track and window is just set back. But now I have to pull the track and window out, just so because the power one is quite a bit bigger, and the window gets in the way, because I tried it on the other side and I wasn't able to do it. But yeah, and also pulling out the window in and out, I did not have to move the weather strip. It would be easier if it was out, mainly because of up in here. The window is a little bit tight, but when you put it back, you got to try to get it in the track ahead of time. Then it'll slide in easier, but we'll get to that later. And that's about it. All right, now here's the power window regulator, and then this is the manual one I took out. And you can see if I line up the top holes, you can see it's quite a bit longer, and for the bottom holes of the power regulator, and that's why I had to drill right here and then inside. But like I said earlier, it's dimpled, so you almost can't go wrong. All right, I've got the power window regulator installed. Now you can see the bottom bolt that I had to drill there. And then you can see the one inside the hole. I think you can see it anyways right there. Something that I forgot to mention, when you install the regulator, it seems to work out best if you have it set at a 90. It just goes in better, and then when you put the window in, you can actually get it in the track. If you don't have it at a 90, you can't even get it in the track, or somewhere close to a 90. And the other thing I forgot to mention is, before you start any of this, you got to remove the seal, the window seal, and this access port. Otherwise, you'll really struggle. But and that's about it. Now I'm going to put the glass in. All right, here's the quarter window with the track on it, and you have to install it with the track. All right, now I'm ready to install the glass and the track. And if you do it correctly, you shouldn't have to force anything. And I think, obviously you want to start, there's a bigger access port area, so you want to start there. And just flop it in like that. And then I'm going to put the glass into the weather strip area. And that's pretty much it. Now, okay. Oops. All right, I've got it set down in there. Now I actually want to get the regulator into the track. And so I'm going to pull the glass back as far as I can, or forward actually. Now, if I had the regulator up a little higher, perfect. I should have had it a little more than 90. But I can still get it in. Anyways, and there it goes. And there, there we go. All right, there it is. All right, now I've got the track bolted in. See down there. And then the 2 bolts up here, and I marked them, so it's should be roughed in pretty close. Of course, I'll have to make adjustments. And I also put the stops here and here back, and that's pretty much it. Now I'm gonna start powering it up and down and make my fine adjustments, fitting it to the body and to the front glass. And that'll be pretty much it. All right, I plugged in the harness and got the window adjusted where I wanted it, and then adjusted the upper and lower stops. The harness plugs into the motor down here, but you have to drill this 1 3/16 hole. It's basically for this rubber grommet, and I actually slid it rather than trying to take the plug off the end or any of that. And it would have been much easier to drill the hole first, then run the wiring, put the regulator in, plug that in, then install the window and the track and all that. So I'll do that next time. But it was a bit of a struggle. You know, even to deburr it, because once you put that big a hole, you're going to have to deburr it a little bit. And it'd be easier if everything was out. But basically the harness runs up here and runs into this existing harness. You basically tease into this. This is the front to rear harness, and this plastic sheeting, you just bend it open. And as you see here, I've got the harness running through that. And it goes all the way to the front, and it plugs into the dash harness. But almost done. Got to finish the other side and then button up the rear here. And that'll be it.